Shut my good.
Yep, they did. We're live. Hello, everyone. I am Latrice the Enlightener, and on tonight, my goal is to motivate, encourage, and inspire you all by sharing testimonies. And on tonight, as you all can see, I have a special guest with me, Keashea Way. Thank you so much for joining me, Keisha. While you all are tuning in, when you tune in, I want to get you to share this live video with your family and with your friends. We're going to be talking tonight about therapy. Is it necessary? Do you feel like you need it? And Keisha's going to share some of her testimony with us on tonight. And I'm excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I don't know if y'all know about it, but so this month is Mental Health Month, and yeah, I think we need to talk about like what the pros and cons, and do we need it, and where have we been with it, and why haven't we got it? Are we afraid to get it? Like what is your take? What is your story about it? Keisha, thank you so much for being with me on tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Um,
welcome.
move my thing so I can see your face. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm glad that you came on tonight. And so just to share a little bit, tell us about yourself just a little bit, who you are, your little story, like tell us a little bit about you.
All right. So, my name is Keisha Way. Of course, I am a native of Warrenton, born and raised, but I currently reside in Covington with my husband and my two kids. I have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. So we're typically busy with softball, basketball, whatever sport it is that they're into at that time. Um, I enjoy being home with them all the
Mhm.
time. Yes, that was one of the things that I wanted to do. I also get to coach women in the service based industry as well, helping them create their signature offers, as well as aligning their CEO level mindset and giving them system recommendations to align their business as well, that will allow them the freedom that there's so much desire within their business on their journey to six figures.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. As you tune in, want to get you. He says it's a major echo. Keisha, see on whose side is a major echo? Hey, Keisha, do you have any other windows open on your device that you're using?
I think I do. You want me to close them real quick?
Yeah, if you'll close all your devices out. Thank you for joining, Ladavian. Lord, Keisha got the whole thing in there.
It should be busy.
Hey, Keisha got everything in that thing.
Okay, I'm almost done.
It's
And
okay.
I meant to do this before we got started. I apologize.
It ain't your fault. But y'all, while y'all are joining in, tonight we're talking about therapy. Is it needed? And Keisha's gonna share just a little of her testimony with us. Keisha, let's see if you still have a echo. Ladavian, tell me if you hear what you hear.
All right, so do you hear echo right now? I
I
hear it.
don't, not on my part. You do.
Yes,
You do for me or you?
from me.
I don't. I don't say something. Let me see.
Something else?
I'm trying to see how bad it is so I can tell the people that I got an issue.
Gotcha.
No, but I don't think I hear it. Like I don't think I hear it. Ladavian, let me know if you still hear it, if you still there. But yeah, Keisha, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about yeah, he said, nope, you good.
Okay, good.
That's
Okay.
so good. Thank you so much, David. We appreciate y'all there in them streets. Um, so yeah, Keisha just told us a little bit about herself and her family and wait, so do I have an echo? Okay. Yeah. So about family and all that stuff. So Keisha, tell me about the places, what you think about therapy, and how did therapy happen in your life? What did all that whole scene come from?
I think therapy is definitely necessary. I know a lot of people don't think of it as being necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it was something that I wanted to do early on in my life, but unfortunately, I did not go that route. I just didn't
Right.
go that route. I didn't know anyone that had been in therapy before, but I can tell you when my family dynamics changed after going through a diagnosis of stage four colon cancer, and then my brother transitioning from cancer as well, it was a must. that
Mm.
I seek therapy. So that's what I did, and it definitely works.
So each my is bad. Why is it bad, boy? So is it really bad though? This get on my nerve every time. Let me see. Not turn it good now. Say something, Keith. I'm sick. I hear you.
Okay, so do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. I'm trying to turn my volume down so I can see if I can stop the echo. Look, David, tell me to hear echo. Say something, Keisha. I be
Oh,
get echo, echo, echo.
do you hear it now? I hear a little bit of it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is over here on these sides of the street. I don't know. So maybe I can tell the people on StreamYard that I have an echo. And if I turn the volume down too much, then you can't even hear this. Okay. So Keisha, let's just go and let's see what it's like
Okay.
for us. Let's just go. Um. So yeah. So tell me. So you were saying about as far as like your brother transitioning, and then you felt like okay, so there's a real need. So
Yes.
what was the reasoning like before? Like had you heard the whole thing about like most black people don't like therapy, we don't, and all the other type stuff?
Yes, it was always thought of as therapy being taboo. If you go to therapy, you're crazy. Um,
Right.
you don't tell people your business. You don't put other people in your business. But I think
Right.
it's necessary to put them in. You're not putting them in your business. You are gaining a neutral party that is going to give you a different perspective from
Right.
what a family member or a friend will tell you. You know, the therapist or counselor can tell you the truth versus, your friend or a family member will tell you what you want to hear.
Right. And that does not specialize in helping you in your situation.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, like yeah, I do get that. Like and most times family and friends they'll comfort you more so than like then tell you like, okay, so you need to get somebody to help you deal with this. Like they'll come comfort you and it's almost like they'll cope the situation that you're in versus y'all really can't help me and I need to get somebody that's professional to come alongside me and help me walk it out because like a lot of times we don't want to process the places that we're walking through. And I
exactly.
think that's a lot of what hurts us the most is that like we don't want to process the place that we're in or okay, so like how do I get to the next phase of my life? And dealing with this because you can't do nothing else about it besides get through it or stay stuck. And I've seen a lot of people stay stuck and they'll play a blame game and because I lost this or because whatever it was in their life that was a hard place, people will place blame. Have you seen people do that? Like they'll do well because I lost this or because I didn't have this in my life. Now this is the reason why I'm like I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They look at, the trauma that may have been caused as a crutch.
Right. Right, that is so true. That is so true, and it gives you something, especially if they've already been stuck in a place. Now I got a place to lean on and just stay. I'm just gonna stay right here. I'm gonna linger, and it feels good. It sometimes it makes you feel good, but I just do believe that you can't stay stuck for. You don't want to stay stuck for a long time. I don't want
Exactly.
to stay stuck in a hard spot forever. It's like you got to be willing to walk through the hard places to get to the better place, and
Yes.
not that I would say and I don't even know if it's a better. You learn how to deal with it better. You learn how to live with it, how to cope with it better. Because I mean, it's like the loss or missing someone. I don't think it just to me that does not get better. Is that
No.
you learning how to deal with the issue and you that gets better because you
Yes.
always miss them.
Of
And
course.
so you with therapy and the loss of your brother. Like what did your family say when you decided to say okay I got to do it? Like how did that go?
Hmm. When I shared with, those close to me in my family that I was going to do therapy, they were okay with it, but it just wasn't something that they were interested in doing for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can kind of understand that because if they've never known anyone to do therapy, then they're not, most likely to want to do it themselves. And like I
Right.
said, some people, not saying that they feel this way, but, some people just feel like they don't want anybody in their business. They feel
Right.
more comfortable speaking with someone that they're comfortable with.
Right.
But they were very supportive of me going, but no one accepted the invite to come with me.
So tell me what was your take on it? Like you like setting up the appointment, like so like that whole process inside of your mind, like what was the thought pattern? Like my picture inside of my mind, just I'm about to go sit on somebody's sofa, like the picture that they show you on TV. That's my image that I have inside of my head. What do you what is it for you? What was it for you?
Well, initially, when I was diagnosed with cancer, I considered it at that particular time. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I looked into it, I kind of knew what type of therapist I wanted to see. But
Mm-hmm.
then once my brother transitioned, it was like, okay, this is a must. I have to do this now. So I knew that I wanted a female therapist. I knew that I wanted her to look like me, but I knew that I wanted her to have a spiritual insight as well, because we're definitely going to bring God up when we're talking about this,
Right.
whatever it is that we're talking about. But yeah, it was like on TV. It was me sitting on her couch and her sitting in her chair and her taking notes to evaluate and just kind of see what it you see where I was and see
Uh-huh.
what were the necessary tools and resources we were going to need.
So like was it like you say the particular area that you need therapy in, or is it just like you just go sit down and talk and like we just finna start having a conversation?
I went in her office and I sat down and I blurted out everything that was on my mind, my heart, and my chest. And I went, that is how it went. I promise you. Because with everything that had been occurring in my life, I was always the strong one. I was always the one supporting others. So whatever I was feeling or thinking, I didn't want to put it on my family members.
Right.
So when I was able to sit down with a therapist, everything came out within 5 minutes. I promise you. Everything came out within 5 minutes.
He said that's pretty fast right there. That 5 minutes is fast.
It was necessary. The most important things that were on my chest definitely came out within a matter of about 5 minutes. And
Wow.
she definitely had to sit back and take an assessment of where I was and where we needed to go. What was my goal with what, I just given her. So
Yeah.
it was definitely a process, but it was necessary. And I needed to release that.
Wow. And it was beneficial.
Very much so.
So was it a one time thing?
No ma'am. No ma'am. Um, a year and a half. Yes,
Okay,
a
yeah.
year and a half. I think I started in October of 2019.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So do you still do? So you don't have one now, or you do or you don't?
I still have her.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So how did you? Hey, Shanika, how you doing, girl? Shanika said, hey to us.
Hey, Shanika.
Thank you for joining us, Shanika girl. We are talking about therapy and is it necessary, and just having a little conversation about it and why most people don't have therapy. And Keisha is sharing some of her testimony with us on tonight, and I'm so glad about it because we need to talk about it. So you say you still have her now, like so like the process for you, this particular counseling started or the therapist started with the your cancer situation.
Well, it was tied into one because I didn't seek therapy while I was going through, the diagnosis. I didn't seek it until after, my brother transitioned from cancer as well. So it was almost like a double dose. I needed a double dose of therapy because not only have I not necessarily worked through the the journey of cancer. I went through it and I went through it. I would really say that I went through it in a positive way, but I never dealt with the fact that I had stage 4 colon cancer. And 3 months, 3 to 4 months after my diagnosis, while I'm still in treatment,
Mm-hmm.
my brother is diagnosed with cancer. So, I'm dealing with the fact that I went through it, he went through it, and then the fact that, he transitioned from it. So you got to roll all that into one. And it's
Right.
like, yeah. So it was just the dynamics of a diagnosis that hit our family that really pushed me into, really going with that therapist.
So can you tell me like what was the mind frame? Like what was your like him transitioning from cancer and then you being diagnosed with it and you still being here, like what was your thought pattern? What was that about? How did you feel?
Well, I can honestly tell you, knowing that I walk with God every single day, I recognize that God heals. So
Right.
God healed me on this side, and God healed my brother on the other side. So we both received our healing.
So
So God took care of us.
so like him God healing your brother on the other side and healing you, was that a process that you had to process, like okay God, did he had to tell you that, or was it like through therapy you got that
No,
answer?
no. Through my relationship with God, I knew that. I
Well,
didn't
that's
have, the
good.
therapist didn't have to tell me that. I already knew that, through my walk with God, that He heals. God doesn't make any kind of mistakes. So,
Right.
what He did for me, He did it here so that I could remain here as a testimony. What He did for Tony, He did it in heaven so that he can live in eternity. And that's where I'm striving to go. So, quite naturally, I got to keep pushing on this side.
Right, right. Man, that is so good, and I wish that people would could see that. And I'm like inside of our heart, that's heavy to process. That is very heavy to process. And for you, and my other question would be for you to this right here: were you always able to verbalize that as strongly as you are now? Like to
Yes,
make that statement, you were always like some people cannot verbalize that
yes.
that they're in a better place, that because just of the a lot of, I would say more so of the selfishness of it, like
Mhm.
not the strength of needing to be able to say like okay, I don't want to process being able to say what I just said, and because it become reality for everybody. And then like I'm just thinking about your position and like the both of y'all having cancer, and I remember when I had something as simple as coronavirus, I dealt with the guilt of me having it, and wait, did I just call coronavirus simple?
You did. But I mean,
Sorry,
I get what you're
forgive me for that.
saying.
That is not what I meant to say. That is
I
not
get
what I
what
meant to say. Sorry, but like I dealt with the place in my life where like after having coronavirus and then seeing people die from coronavirus, like and I lived and I didn't have it as bad as most people had it. Like I had to deal with that. Like like I don't know why I felt like it was a guilt on me. Like I felt like I was grateful, but I just felt the weight of
it's hard being the one who survived.
right, and then like how do I make lightly of it when people have died with this thing that I live with? Like what do I do with it? And so for me, I always find a place or a thing to where like like I won't experience this pain without birthing something. Was there something that God allowed you to birth through the pain, the which what you went through?
Hmm. There were so many things that I desired in my heart to do. Um, and I can tell you the number one thing was I wanted to be available for my children 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was working on a 9 to 5, I was not. I gave my job 110% and I was empty when I got home. So cancer afforded me the opportunity to be with my children 24/7.
Wow.
So that was the biggest thing for me, being available for them, because I felt so guilty. I felt as though I was raising them in a rush. I felt that we were doing everything fast and on the go. But, cancer gave me opportunities that I only dreamt of. I get to take my
Wow.
kid when they were in school. I got to take my kids to school every day. I got to pick them up every day. I get to sit and be present and listen, truly listen to what it is that they're saying versus coming home from work, rushing to get something cooked and rushing to do this and that. No, I don't have to do that anymore. I can be fully present for them.
So Keisha, what was the job? What was the job that you were doing when you were working?
Ooh. So I was with Walmart for over 21 years. I was a licensed dispensing optician slash manager.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
And so right now, what do you do at home?
Whatever I want to do.
Whatever I want to do.
No, but seriously, when I'm at home, of course, the kids are top priority. They are involved in so much. They get to do, softball. They get to do basketball. They're doing trainings in between the games and whatnot. So that is definitely priority. Whatever it is that they're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter likes photography. She can do almost anything. So whatever it is that they're interested in, I get to pour into them that way. But I also like to help women.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, a large amount of my time is also spent, inside of my private community, serve lead design for creatives. And I like to help women in the service-based industry birth what it is that they desire to have within their business. So, creating offers, creating the systems around those offers, and just helping them, you know, be the boss that they desire to
Mm-hmm.
be, just getting into a better place so that they can have the freedom they also desire to have so that they can be available for their families.
So Keisha, I'm listening to you, and I've listened and I've heard that, like, so like the job that you were working at is totally opposite. Well, I won't say opposite, but it's totally different from the job that you do at home right now. A little
Hmm.
bit similar, no?
I guess I wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because to be honest with you, being in management, I had to manage schedules, right? So having kids that are involved in sports, I have to manage schedules.
Right.
Um, I was also serving by helping people choose their eyewear, and I still get to do that by helping women in the service-based industry, create their offers and whatnot. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
almost hand in hand. If when I think about it, it's almost
Okay, okay, yeah. Now when you go back to that deep, now yeah, maybe so, but it's just like, like working for somebody else, having somebody else to give you direction or to say, but like now you get to do like I feel like it's more so a purpose driven now.
yes.
Like yeah, more so a purpose driven in a absolute faith walk of walking it out, and and it's so crazy how I think about how like most times we don't see the gold in the hardship that we go through. Like a lot we just don't see it. We don't see that like that like yeah it's hard and nobody wants it and you just wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy.
Mhm.
However, it's here, it's done. So what is the gold in it? What is the gold in what I just went through? Like walking, did you have to like take a step back and see that, or as you walked through you saw your goal as far as like the opportunity to stay at home with the kids, like that type stuff?
Now I can tell you when I had my first surgery, which was November of 2017, when I went in for my 6 week checkup, my scar was healing very well. I was determined I was going back to work on December 15th. I promise you, I was going back to work on December 15th. Um, but of course, that's when I was told that I had to see an oncologist because the cancer had metastasized to my liver, and of course, it was in my lymph nodes as well, which made it stage 4. So therefore, I would have to have chemotherapy.
Wait, Keith, let's just stop right here for a minute. Let's just stop right here. Wait a minute now. You said you had stage 4 cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's just stay right there for a minute, like, cause I don't think I knew that. I do remember knowing that you had cancer, but never knew that it was stage 4 cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me that, like, cause like when you say stage 4, my automatic thought is of no return, unless God comes in and make a move. Unless
And
God comes in and make a move. When they said that you had stage 4, what was your thought? What was your take me to that room?
well, let me just take you to the day that the GI doctor told me I had cancer. My thought process was, okay, so you're telling me I have a tumor in my colon and the tumor has cancer. So my thought process was, I didn't have cancer, the tumor had cancer. So what are you going to do about the tumor? And he said I could take it out. Okay, so we're going to take that tumor out. But in the midst of that surgery, having that tumor removed from my colon, that's when, it was determined that there were also possible tumors in my liver, but definitely my lymph nodes were infected. So I had to go in to have a liver biopsy to
Mm-hmm.
ensure that there were tumors in the liver. And yes, they were. So, of course, that's when the oncology talk started as well. Well, the oncology talk proceeded. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not waver in my faith.
That's
For
awesome.
me, God, He was already there in the room. He was in the midst. My only question to the GI doctor was, okay, so what next? He said
Right.
surgery. Okay, when I go in and I see the surgeon, okay, what next? I take the tumor out and I sew you back up, and we visit with the oncologist, and you may have to have a second surgery. Okay,
That's
and
it.
that's how it went. Yeah, in my thought process. Now the people around me were panicking, but I could not panic, because
Right.
had I panicked and lost it in my mind, the rest of my body would have followed, and I couldn't allow that. I had a close friend tell me that healing starts in the mind, and when he told me that, it remained.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like butter.
I'm telling I'm over here like I don't even know because I know that I did not know that you had stage 4 cancer at all. Like man, like I applaud you even more right now. Like so how did that go? Like them saying that you had stage 4 to what? Like then what?
Okay, the oncologist, she tried to talk that talk of, there's typically a such and such span. Me and my mama shut her down. Like, and I had to even let her know, as well as my surgeon, God is in the midst. He will take care of me. Whatever you say, he trumps it.
Right.
So,
Oh my God, that's good. This that is absolutely awesome. So like you were walking through that. You were healed. Um, then what did your brother transition while you were being healed, or like how did that? What was the time frame?
um, so I took my last chemo round in August of 2018. And during that time, my brother was also taking chemo. So we were taking chemo at the same
At the
time.
same time.
At the same time, yes. So, yeah, my chemo, my treatment stopped in August of 2018, and I think he may have stopped there shortly after, because I did 12 rounds, and I want to say he did maybe 4 to 6, so he didn't do as many as I did. Um, but yeah, it was, yeah. Then his
So
his stuff started his stuff started back up in January of 2019, and it was just kind of, yeah, starting to change that next year.
and so even with him and his situation and your situation, they look totally different. The place of faith, you stayed in faith for both of y'all. Like you knew,
We had
yeah.
Bible
That's
study, like, yeah, we sure did. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Man, that is so awesome. And I'm listening and I'm hearing and I'm like just seeing the process and I'm thinking about my process of when I lost my brother and I'm thinking about like that you were brave enough and strong enough to get therapy and so the walk I'm thinking about the walk of you said that you already knew that just from the first of all the place of therapy and when I talked about it when I posted on the page the place of therapy that I felt like was like Jesus is one type of therapy. He's the ultimate therapy and in addition to that there are people on this earth that can assist you in therapy. So like in knowing God and already having faith in God you felt the need to get additional therapy, right?
Yes.
So most people don't, and they are, and a lot of times we'll do this whole thing of, well, I'm just gonna trust God to heal me. I'm just gonna trust God to help me process, and like trust God, trust God, trust God. I know that you trust God. Tell me the process of knowing that I need additional help. Like I need to talk to somebody. Like what was that for you? Because like that's what we rely on a lot. Like I'm just gonna let God do it. God gonna fix it. God gonna heal it. But we don't have any type of formula or nothing that we're even asking Him to do when we're saying that He's gonna do it. We just say He gonna heal it, and we gonna and by it's gonna get better.
Yes. Well, first of all, we have to think about God put each of us here to help and assist each other, right?
Right.
So God created a therapist for a reason because
Right.
He put someone here in a flesh form that He can use as a vessel to assist you. So just like electricity and lightener is a ministry, therapy is a ministry for some. If you have
Right.
the right therapist, they can walk you through the process of healing. It's just a bridge to that transformation. And God
Right.
allows that bridge. You just have to be open enough to receive it.
And that I'm telling you, like I just wish that we more of us could see that. And I don't know. And you know, we always say, well, I know I've always said, I can't put it on you, but I know I've always said it that black people act like there is something so wrong with us getting therapy. But I think that the fact of that we don't get therapy is a lot of the reason why we do deal with some of the stuff that we deal with. Like I think if high blood pressure, if half of us had a therapist just to release some of the stuff that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, like could possibly be the number could be lowered or eliminated, one or the other. But I just feel like that I won't say that we're not strong enough. I think that we don't know enough about it to acknowledge the fact of like we need to talk to somebody. And um and giving other people the advice to get it to even to share about it. I'm thinking about kids when I'm thinking about like we're adults and we know that we need it. Do you feel like there's ever a time or ever a place when children need some type of therapy?
Yes, children need therapy. Most definitely, they need therapy. Think of it like this: a child that doesn't get therapy or deal with an issue that has occurred becomes an adult that's dealing with those child issues, those childhood
Right.
issues and trauma. So they never heal from it. They may be an adult in age, but sometimes their mindset can still be stuck in that childlike mode because they never dealt with the trauma or whatever it was that occurred by simply speaking with someone that could provide the necessary tools and resources to help them.
Right, right, right. And so when I think about kids, I think about how like you have two kids, right? Boy and a
Yes,
girl. So
yes.
did you have a conversation with your children as far as or do you feel like there's a need to have a conversation with them about what happened like when your brother transitioned and you still here? Like I feel like even in that place that children need to understand like this is what this is
Yes.
like, 'cause I mean, it's so easy to look at like why you and why him, not you, like that type thing. Do you feel like there's a need to have a conversation with them about it?
Yes, we definitely talked about that. In the very beginning of my diagnosis, I did not inform the children because I simply didn't know how.
Mm-hmm.
They knew something was occurring, but I didn't know how. But once I did inform them, and then, when things started to occur with Tony, I had, minor conversations with them. But yes, we definitely had to talk about where he is where we're striving to go.
Mm-hmm.
Death is not the end.
Right.
It's just, your physical body is no longer here for us to experience. But
Right.
we still experience. I experience him in dreams and whatnot. So
Right.
I know that healing is definitely real on the other side.
Right. 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 I always say that because we are still here, there is so much assignment still on our life, and that is so much work to be done. It's almost like to me like it's like it's not at times when people just pass that I think about this stuff, but it becomes more real in my face when people pass away. I think about so much of how like I'm left here, they're gone. What am I supposed to do? Like, what is it that you are leaving me here for? What is the assignment? Like, what is the thing that I'm supposed to do that I'm supposed to birth out? Like, because surely I have purpose. I think every day that we breathe, we have purpose. There's assignment on our life, And every time a loss comes, or it makes it, the assignment becomes more thrown in my face even bigger. It gets magnified because, okay, so now what's the next thing? What you gonna do? How are you gonna make sure that you walk out, that you fulfill purpose? I feel like I owe it to the person that I lost to
Mm.
fulfill purpose. Did you have that feeling at all?
Yes, like the mantle, like he passes it down, the
Right,
legacy,
right.
all the things that we talked about, like we talked about business stuff, we talked about we talked about everything anyway. But
Mhm.
yes, most definitely, you definitely feel as though that is a motivating portion of your life to do things and not just sit here and waste time.
Right.
I mean, we have gifts and we have talents, and we're responsible for using those. So yeah,
Right. And
definitely.
then I think about too, like not even just in his transitioning, but for the fact that you survived stage 4 cancer. Like the story is always state, well, I wouldn't even say always, majority of the time stage 4 means, okay, how do we
People
prepare?
think people think death.
Right, right, right.
I can remember my cousin coming over after I had the first surgery, and another cousin was here, and she mentioned that it was stage 4, and my cousin was like, she just stopped in her tracks. She couldn't move. But see, not me.
Right.
A diagnosis has nothing to, what man says in that diagnosis. God trumps it all. He has
Right,
the
right,
final say in what it is. And my scripture was, I will live and not die.
right,
So I stood on the word. So when you stand on God's word, what are you gonna believe, man's report or God's report?
right. Yeah, that is absolutely awesome, and I think like to be able to not get in agreement with the lie, like because like in like even though people have the best intention, their hearts are in the I guess in the place that they just wherever they feel like. But I think like it is so important that we don't partner with the lie of believing what other people believe, because it's so easy for you could easily partner with somebody else's fear, and that fear could have been magnified in your life, and it could have took you out.
I
And I just think like I think about so many times we do this stuff, like because you're afraid of it, and I believe and I trust you, and I know you love God, but like they said Keishea got stage 4. So like if you begin to doubt and to like could easily partner with you and just start planning for the worst.
listen. I didn't share it
That's awesome.
until I was done. There were very few that knew,
Then it
and
was
those
stage
that
4.
knew were the ones that were going to pour into my life. I could
Right,
not afford to share it with people that may speak death over me.
right.
So I had to apologize to a lot of people, but it was like I had to do what I had to do, which was to remain focused. And I chose not to share it because I did not want anyone speaking death over me.
Right. So was there ever a time when you were like down, like couldn't work, like had to be off, or you were off work? So like were
No,
you ever
I didn't go back.
hospitalized?
I didn't. I left. Let's see. I was diagnosed on November 3rd. I had surgery on November 14th was my last day of work. I had surgery on November 15th, and I have not been back in the building since then. I had woo,
I know, right?
I had two surgeries. Well, three, including the port. So I had the colon resection in November of 2017. And then I had my port installed in December of 2017. And then in April of 2018, I had to have a liver resection. So I was fortunate enough to only have those two hospital stays. I did experience an allergic reaction to one of the well, I had two allergic reactions because I had to wear the Neulasta patch after I had received chemo to, boost my white blood count. And I broke out in hives. My lips swole, like I was you would not have been able to recognize me. Like, yeah. So I did have to
Wow.
go to the hospital for that, but I was in and out. Like, I went to the emergency room. They gave me, something through IV that was going to help with hives and whatnot. But my lips were probably swollen for about 3 days, and then that eventually went down. And then I think I had another allergic reaction one day while I was in the chemo chair. So they ended up taking the dosage down of the oxycodone medication that I was using. They took that dosage down, and I think I had a collapsed lung at one point. So I went through some stuff in the process of it, but I mean, I still had to remain on God's word and do what I had to do.
Right. That is just so powerful. Like, tell me if you like, cause I'm listening to you said stage 4, and I'm just trying to see inside of my mind, like in your body, did you ever feel a physical in stage 4 to like in the transitioning of it going away? Like, did you feel the transition? Like, did you feel like what? How bad was it to like? Oh, okay, I know it's going away.
Are you saying like in my body? Was I feeling anything?
No, like yeah, like could you feel like because like when they say stage 4, it's like the worst hurt, or supposedly, but
No,
then to not having it at all, like what was that like?
no, I didn't. I no, I was. Some of the symptoms that I had was I had my belly was bulging and it was gurgling, making noises and whatnot. I lost weight. I was fatigued. Um, Now, my oncologist did tell me that I had a spot on my spine, but I rebuked that. And when they checked it, it came back benign. But she asked me, she was like, "Is your back not hurting?" I was like, "No." "Oh, because your back should be hurting." "No, ma'am, my back does not hurt."
Wow.
No, I did not have, it didn't metastasize to the bones like that. So I didn't have those type achy pains. I had achy pains from the doggone chemo,
Mm-hmm.
those type side effects. But no, from the metastasizing, it metastasized to the liver. And like I said, it was in 7 of the 32 lymph nodes that they checked. But there was never a physical pain from the actual cancer. No.
I'm overwhelmed and I'm excited and I'm so grateful. Like it's I'm telling you, man, it's so powerful to hear your testimony because like this is it's like you know how when you get somebody else's stuff, like I can tell your story to somebody else. Like, listen, I know somebody that survived this thing. Like, because some people get it. A lot of people don't have the same faith that we have. Even they do believe the same God we believe, but to believe God that He will heal their own body, that's sometimes we just don't. We just don't have the. I don't know if it's the strength or the faith or the. I don't know what it is. Faith, that's what it is, basically. But like, a lot of people don't walk it out. They'll talk it. They'll talk about it for other people, but to walk it out for themselves. Sometimes people need to hear other people's testimony in order to draw strength. And like when you can tell somebody that look, I can touch somebody that I know had stage 4 cancer. That joker was healed. Look, let me tell you about it right now. Like it's awesome. It is so awesome, and just that the power that God worked it out for you. And man, I'm listening, Keisha, I'm thinking about your life and what you have gone through, and putting your brother transitioning, you being a survivor of stage 4. All I see is miracle, man. Like all I see is just the miracle of it all, and just I don't even know. But so my next question would be, as far as your children are concerned, with this type of cancer and all the other type of stuff, what is the preparation? What is the follow up, the follow through? Like, how do you help them know that, or stop them from living in the fear of thinking that, like, well, what if I get it, or like, like in family line, like what do you share with them? What is your story to them?
Now, I did do well. Initially, my GI doctor did tell me that it was a spontaneous marker. I did not have a genetic trait for colon cancer. So it's like, okay. But I still chose to
And
do the genetic testing because I simply wanted to do it for my children and my family members just to be sure that I did not have that genetic marker. So we have talked about the fact that we live in faith,
Mm-hmm.
but we also live in the reality of I was diagnosed at age 40. Now at age 30, you do need to be screened to be on the safe side.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's been talked about, but we walking this thing out in faith that they don't get anything like that. The buck stops here. Like that's it.
Right.
I went through it for them, so they don't have to go through it.
And you handled it well. You handled it very well. You handled it well. Um, I just, man, I'm so glad that you are free to share your story with other people, because people need to know that, like, Jesus is real. And I'm thinking about like how you went through it, knowing already that you were healed. And I think about the people that don't know,
Mm.
the people that like could hear your story and go to a place of, oh my God, what we gonna do now? Like, what would you tell somebody that does not believe, that does not have hope, that does not like if they were diagnosed with it? Like, what do you say to somebody that does not have the hope, the faith, what do you say?
For someone that may not have the faith and the hope, like I said, I had a close friend to tell me in the very beginning that healing starts in the mind. We've got to work on your mind, and then we've got to work on your heart. Like, this temple belongs to God.
Right.
Like, we have to make sure that we're trusting Him with this process.
Right.
Like, yes, He has doctors in place to assist Him, but the overall trust is in God. It's not in man. They are just a resource that He has put in place, to assist Him.
Right. And that the doctor's word is not final. And like
No.
ultimately, to trust God, just to trust Him, and to put everything that you have on the inside of you in Him, and just know that He is gonna pull you through. And that is so awesome. Keashea, I am so grateful that you decided to share your story. Y'all, Keashea is gonna be coming back with this like on a regular basis. Keashea does a whole lot of stuff, y'all. The Joker is so gifted and so talented, and I think that she has so much time to pull so much more purpose out of her whole life. Like, I just do believe that God's gonna consistently do what He's already doing with you, like allowing you to birth out new stuff, allowing you to, man, like, so like, look, so this is what I got, this is what I just got, right? Like, so like you, like, even though like a lot of people don't see the gold in what they've gone through, right? So the gold in what I see in what you went through is that you had spare time, a lot of time to spend time to help other women. You said to become bosses, and so in you leveling up and becoming a boss in your faith, like you became I mean, like you manned up right there. Like you became a boss in faith, and through you walking out being a boss in faith, God granted you that. So I just feel like, even though now it might not look like it might not be as big as you wanted to be, but I just do believe that birthing that God gave you to just that birthing your faith in that position in your life, it births out something new in other women's life. So I think that, like, even women that will partner with you, like, it might look like they're getting this thing, like this what you do, what you offer to help their business or whatever. It looks like that, but it's a burst. It's a burst of birthing. And like I can see explosion. Like, like fireworks look, how fireworks look like pew, pew, pew. I just see a birth of bursting new stuff. Like, so they'll think they're getting this one thing right here, but in addition to that, you get more faith, because you can't like, I couldn't be able to deal with you and not get the faith that you have.
Mm.
I couldn't let you work with me, or I couldn't be able to just like let you come alongside me and help me in my business, and I not gain the faith that you have, or either get some, even if it's just a small portion of your faith. I get it. Like, so I just do believe that the women that you'll help, and that their businesses, that whatever it is that they bring to you, they say like, look, I want to get this right here in order. I'm trying to do this right here. It becomes more than just an order of their business. It's an order of kingdom.
Mm.
It's a girl. I'm telling you, I just got now. No, I just got this on fresh right here. It's an order of kingdom, kingdom inside of their business that becomes assignment.
Oh.
It becomes assignment, And my prayer is that you would stay, that you would keep doing it, that you would keep doing it, because that is bigger than you. It's bigger than you, and there, and it's in a that thing. Look, so it's bigger than you. Like, you know how you see, I see,
Yes.
like, so it's bigger than you, and it's almost like it's birthing. When you assist them, it's labor pains. You assist them because, like, right now the struggle is that needing help to be organized, needing help to be situated, to just to be able to see stuff clear that they already have. So you come alongside and you help give birth. You give birth to a thing, and
Trust.
that when you give birth to a thing, the assignment becomes clearer to the person. Like, so let's just use Audrey for example. You came alongside Audrey. She already, the vision out of the, you helped give birth to her baby, and the assignment became clear of the direction of what it became a weight was lifted off of her because she didn't have to do that part of the work, and then the assignment gets to run easy.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, it's like it's a partnership, but people they have no idea. Like, I'm about to go ahead and partner up my own self, because,
I
like,
receive.
I want it myself. Like, I need that for myself. Like, I'm telling you, man, God is so good in the stuff that He makes clear. Like, I promise you, I couldn't have made that up right there. I couldn't even thought of that my own self. That was all God. But I'm
I
excited, man, and
receive.
I'm excited about you just staying in the place that you're in and consistently do it. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know what exactly Keisha does, but I will tell you this right here. The stuff that Keisha offers, it's awesome. It is, the stuff is awesome. Like, I need it for every area of my life. It brings you clarity. Like, let me help you organize this thing. Give her your vision. She helps you walk it out to help you see, like, just like what I said, you make it clear, and it takes the weight off of the person, because, like, okay, so let me give it to you. You give me the direction. Show me the direction of what I'm supposed to be doing, so that then it makes it easier for my life, for me to actually execute the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. It just, I
Exactly.
think it's a walkout plan. But Keisha, thank you so much for being with me, girl. Like, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for your testimony, because I had no idea, and it brings me to a place of that we never know people's story.
No.
We never know people's story. We never know what people go through, how they got to the place. We just see folk, and that we just think that that's it. And I think a part of my heart of sharing testimony is, like, because we don't know each other's story,
Mm-hmm.
and that somebody might look at your life and, like, assume, man, Keisha had it all together all her life. Nobody knows what Keisha went through. Nobody knows until you say. And shoot, we don't even know the rest of the story that you're gonna tell. But oh, Keisha, I want to get you to encourage somebody right now that might be in your position right now. Let's just say
Mm.
somebody might be watching that has stage 4 cancer right now. Just got the diagnosis earlier today. What do you say?
Mm. You will not die in a diagnosis. You are not stuck. You give that diagnosis to God and you trust the process. He, like I said before, He sends the doctor as a tool and a resource. So, yes, we listen, but we trust the process that God has put in place for us. He knew where we were going to be before we even got there.
Right.
So He already laid the path. He's already put the right surgeons in place. He's already put the right mix. He has it. So trust Him. If I trust Him, I surely know you can. Because
Right.
it's the easiest thing you'll ever do in your life is to trust God
Yeah,
in
we
every
make it we
aspect
make it
of
so
your life.
complicated, right? We make it so
He's so
complicated.
simple. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true. That is very easy, but we make it way too complicated. But Keisha, thank you so much, and I pray that somebody that watched this live got empowered, got encouraged, like to push, to move forward in faith, to just believe that God can, and know that He is a healer. This joker, sorry Keisha, this joker had stage 4 cancer, like, and she's surviving and thriving, like she over here living her best life, like for the Lord, like for the Lord. Like
Yes.
for the Lord, y'all. Yeah, yeah, for the Lord. So I'm so grateful that you shared with me on tonight, Keisha. Y'all, Keisha's gonna be coming back and she's gonna be sharing some of her tools and some of the stuff that she offers women. As far as like her coaching and all the other type of stuff is absolutely awesome. She's gonna share with us on some another time. I don't know when we'll do it, but I do know that
Okay.
she needs to share with you all. Y'all need to know that Keisha is out here helping folk, like she out here doing it. And so I want to encourage you all to come back with me on Monday night to watch the live, to tune in, to share with your family, to get a nugget and just eat the nugget and just whatever you need to do with it, put it on the shelf. I don't know what you need to do with it. However, like come back and if you have a testimony that you want to share that you know you need to share, somebody needs to hear. I want to encourage you to inbox me and let's share your story with somebody else so that with hopes of helping change somebody else's life for the better. Thank you so much, Keisha, for being with me on tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in. Come back next Monday night at
All
8:30.
right.
I love y'all. Have a good night. Thank you, Keisha.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.